Hey guys, the Squatch team here. I got a couple of things I wanted to pass along to you guys. We've had a couple of really weird things go on down here in southeastern Oklahoma. We're down at our property here in southeastern Oklahoma. One of the things, which is a sighting. We've had another sighting down here. Sheila was by herself down in the woods, and I'm going to let her talk about that here in just a minute, and bring you guys up to speed on what exactly happened with the sighting. One of the things that we've had happen down here, and I talked about this last night a little bit. We were on Bigfoot Odyssey again last night on his Squatchathon, and I talked about this a little bit where we had two teddy bears down at the gifting area that had been down there for quite a while, and they had gotten through the weather and the rain, they had gotten pretty nasty. So Sheila had brought them up, and we've got an outside garbage can here at the cabin, and she had put them in that garbage can for us just to haul off and throw away. Well, I didn't empty the garbage can when we left. I forgot about it. We went back home. We came back down here a week or so later. Lo and behold, those two teddy bears were back down at the gifting area. You know, my assumption is that they saw us put them in there. They didn't want them there. After we left, they got them out of the garbage can and took them back down to the gifting area and placed them on that log. The other weird thing that happened, this just happened here recently, and I'll throw up some still pictures here on the video to kind of give you guys a visual, but Sheila had been leaving a Tupperware bowl down at the gifting area, and she had placed some apples inside it with some snacks and that kind of thing, with the emphasis being it was going to take something with hands to get the lid off that Tupperware bowl. Well, we came down a couple of days ago, and the Tupperware bowl was empty, of course, but there were two sticks placed on top of the Tupperware bowl that formed an X. Just weird. And also there were two sticks that were placed on the gifting log that formed an X. And I'll throw up some still photographs here on the video so you guys will kind of get a visual on that. So, okay, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let Sheila talk about the teddy bears in the garbage can and back to the gifting area. So, you guys stay with us.
So, we have these two little teddy bears that we put down at the gifting area. Their names are Chance and Lucky. We don't know why that's the names that they was on them when we bought them at the store, but it seemed appropriate. So we were packing up and getting ready to leave. We'd been here for several days and had some activity going on while we were here. So I went down to the gifting area to pick up some stuff and leave some apples and some other stuff. And Chance and Lucky had been through several rainstorms, and they were splattered with dirt, and they just looked kind of ragged. So I brought them up here and stuffed them in this garbage can. Needs to be empty now. It wasn't quite that full, but I just put them in there and put the lid on it. And Bill usually empties that every time we're here before we leave. But this particular time, he didn't empty the garbage can. So when we came back, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks later, I went back down to the gifting area, and guess who had moved from the garbage can back down to the log? There was Chance and Lucky, just sitting there against the log, smiling at us. So I don't know how it got there. but I know I left them in the garbage can, so we'll walk down there and show you where they put them when we returned. Okay, so here's Chance and here's Lucky, and this is exactly where I found them when we came back the next time. They weren't just, this is the way they had been sitting there for, I don't know, several weeks in that exact position, more or less. And when I took them up to the garbage can and threw them away, and I came back, and this is exactly the way they were sitting when I walked up. Scared the bejeebers out of me because I said, I know I put those things in the garbage can. So either they saw me putting them in the garbage can and intentionally brought them back down here, or maybe they were just dumpster diving, I don't know, and ran into them in the garbage can. But either way, unless these little guys are magic and can walk down here by themselves, don't know how they got here. And these two little bears have been with us for a while. Baby Bigfoot, that we've shown to y'all before, has been missing for quite a while now, and usually he shows up after a period of time. And the last time we came down here, we've already taken it down. One of the water bottles that I had here was stuck up in that tree. And it was kind of wedged in between some branches up here. We've already taken it down. And interestingly, it was torn in half and just wedged in right there. And it was, I usually leave water bottles down there because I figure water can't hurt them. And they usually take the water bottles, but this particular time it was stuck right up in there when we came back that time.
Okay guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to go down and do a recreation of the sighting that Sheila had a week or so ago, and we'll get that filmed and get it on here. So you guys stay with us.
One thing I forgot to mention, when I came back down here and Chance and Lucky were back down here, there were 2 sticks across this log like this, intentionally laid in an X. Bill has pictures of that he's going to throw up there. And then I also had a Tupperware bow right there. It's the same one y'all have seen in previous videos that I put apples in, and it has a real tight lid on it that can't be easily taken off, but every time I leave it down here, the lid's off and the apples are gone. And this time the lid was off, laying beside it, the apples were gone, and 2 sticks were laying like this on top of the bow. And he also has a picture of that he's going to throw up on the screen. But that and Chance and Lucky back in their favorite reclining position was what I saw when I walked down here. I literally walked around the corner around and saw all that, and kind of startled me because I knew that I had thrown those bears away. So yeah, they kind of gifted us back that time, I guess you might say.
Okay guys, we're now down in the area where Sheila had a sighting a couple of weeks ago. We're on the far end of our property, down in an area down here we've designated to hunt hogs and hunt deer. So I'm going to turn it over to Sheila and just let her walk you guys through what happened that day. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of walk you through what happened, but I want to kind of set the scene for you. As you can see, this is a pop-up blind, and it's the uniqueness of this blind and this story is this is a new technology. We just bought this from Cabela's this season. We've never had one like this before. And from the outside, it looks like just a canvas. and the deer cannot see in it. But if you go inside, come here, Bill. Shoot from inside. You can see out. I can see out, but wildlife cannot see in. So my question is, could the Bigfoot see in there or not? I know that deer cannot because I've been sitting in that chair right there, and they will walk 15 feet from me and never see me. Even though I purposely will move, they never see inside that blind, and that's the new technology of this pop-up blind. So I was sitting in that chair in the left side there, and Bill, if you'll swing around and show them where the feeder is. There's the feeder that I've been watching. So on this particular day, as I said, I was sitting in that chair, and I just got one of those feelings that I wasn't alone. So the funny thing about it, when you get these feelings, you think about it later, and you kind of wonder how that came. But I knew exactly where to look, if that makes sense. So I was sitting in that chair, and I have to add this little sidebar note. I had an injury to my neck, so turning around was really, really difficult. But I turned all the way around, and right back there between those two trees, and I'll go back there and show you in just a minute, I saw what looked like a tree stump, like this. But I knew there wasn't a tree stump there. We know this property, we hunt it, we know it, and I knew there wasn't a tree stump. And I watched it, and as I did, I could see that its eyes were trained toward that feeder, and I could see the eyes blinking. So, as I said, my neck injury, I couldn't hold that pose for very long, and I turned back around and listened to my heart beat really, really loud and tried to slow my breath, and I turned back around and looked, and it was still there, but it was not looking at me, it was looking at the feeder. And the reason I could tell it wasn't a tree stump is I could actually see the eyes blink. So I watched it for, I don't know, a couple of minutes, and it never looked my way. So I thought maybe I could grab my phone, because that would be all I had to get a picture of it. So I grabbed my phone, but I just couldn't get in a position to really focus on the figure, whatever it was. And again, I was dealing with being in a position that was hurting my neck. So I would guesstimate maybe 3-4 minutes. Then I looked back again, and it was gone. There was nothing there, which kind of made my heart pound even more, because now I'm thinking, okay, where is it? So I sat there for a few more minutes, really shaken by it, because that's, what would you say, Bill? 30 yards?
30 yards.
30 yards. So, and it was about 4 o'clock in the evening. The sun was coming right through there, so it was starting to get a little bit dusky. And I didn't see or hear anything around, but my heart was just about to jump out of my throat.
Take us back there.
Hang on just a second, and I'll walk back there and show you the view from where, which I guess we'll call it a Bigfoot, we'll call it what I think it is, where I think it was squatted down. So, to me, it appeared to be like this. And Bill, if you'll swing the camera straight down, you can see that the camera, the heater is right in view of this. There's some trees that are blocking it, and you can see the blind to the left. And what I saw was eyes blinking. I didn't see any movement, but I just saw eyes blinking, and it appeared maybe just a little bit of movement with the head like this, maybe trying to look around those trees. I don't know. And after I watched it for a while, then I looked back here and there was nothing there. And when I got out of my stand and walked over here, there was nothing there. So I don't know what to say, but I think it was a Bigfoot there. And again, my question is, why did it not see me moving in that blind? Does that technology work on it as well as it does wildlife? Could it not see through it? So anyway, that's what happened.
Okay, guys. I was across the property hunting in another deer stand that afternoon, and when I came back and picked her up, she related what had happened, and we wanted to get this on video for you guys. This is 3 things that's happened to us in the last 2 or 3 times we've been down here. That's just really weird things. We had the teddy bears that she threw away in the garbage can that wound up back down at the gifting area. We had the Tupperware bowl that had treats in it. There was an X on top of it. And then this sighting she had. And all that happened relatively in a short period of time. So
It really shook me up. I mean, because you can see maybe 30 yards distance, and I think I was more afraid when it wasn't there, and so now I'm thinking, well, where is it? So I don't know which way it went. You can see how deep the leaves are. You couldn't look and get any footprints or anything. So I don't know.
okay, guys. Well, we just wanted to get this on video for you guys and kind of relate to you some things that's been going on to us.
And from Bill and I, we wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll be talking to you next year.
And you guys have a blessed day.